Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. This is our first review for Martial Arts Madness Month. Today, I thought we would start off the Martial Art Madness Month. Man, this is way too long of a title. With Bang, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It came out in 2000. It's an action romance kung fu movie. It's 2 hours long. It's directed by Ang Lee. Stars Michelle Yeoh as Yu Shu Lin, Zhang Si as Jen Liu, Chow Yun Fat as Master Li Mubai, Chen as Lo or Dark Cloud, Cheng Pei as Jade Fox, and Sai Hong Young as Sir Tay. The reason why we're reviewing this movie, even though everybody knows this movie's great, it won a shitload of Academy Awards back in the day. I think it was like nominated for 10, it won 4, which is what it says on the DVD that I own. Yeah, the reason why we're reviewing this is because I found out they made a sequel on Netflix like a year or two ago, and I finally have Netflix, so I thought, oh, I'll review it for Martial Art Madness Month. But before I could review it, I need to, revisit the first film so I can compare the two. Though I just want to say, I have not heard good things about Sword of Destiny. So this movie, the story, it takes place in like I have no idea what period of China it's supposed to take place in. Oh, it's set in 19th century China. Okay. Huh. That's supposed to be 19th century? That looked nicer than that, but well, I guess it would be 1800s, right? Huh. I guess. So the movie is about two master warriors, Chow Yun Fat and Michelle Yeoh, are faced with their greatest challenge when the treasured Green Destiny sword is stolen. A young aristocrat, Zhang Ziyi, prepares for an arranged marriage, but soon reveals her superior fine talents and her deeply romantic past. As each warrior battles for justice, they come face to face with their worst enemy, an inescapable enduring power of love. So the movie is it's this weird movie because it's like an amalgamation of so many things. Like there's part Western in there where you have like these great martial artists fight off against each other, and then there's like, by Western I mean like, sorry, when you have these martial art masters fight off against each other. There's this huge tension, and like just like with Western gun duels, they end like very quickly at times. Though there are like really long drawn out fights. Like there's a scene where the girl Jen is at a like a restaurant, and she fights almost like a huge crowd of martial artists in the restaurant, because she like she was like at like a tea house, and like made like embarrassed a couple warriors, showing off the Green Destiny sword, bragging about defeating like Lu Mubai, who's supposed to be the greatest swordsman in China. So like obviously you have all these guys who all want to meet her, right? And like she's very disrespectful and pisses a lot of them off. So of course they think, oh, we gotta teach this woman a lesson, and get their asses kicked, because not only is she a skilled martial artist, she has the Green Destiny sword, which is a 400-year-old sword that is extremely powerful. If it can cut sword metal, and like break weapons in like single slashes. It's very it's like a magic sword or something. It's basically Excalibur from the Excalibur movie from what was it? That was like that came out what 1981 or something. I don't know. Yeah, so like the real story is like you have these two middle-aged fighters who are in love with each other, but because of past commitments, past friendships, they can't fall they don't allow themselves to be happy and marry each other. But the one character, Lu Mu Bai, who's played by Chow Yun Fat, decides to leave the world of martial arts and finally go to the woman he loves, which is Michelle Yeoh's character. What was her name? Lo Xian. Shu Lian. Sorry. Fuck. Sick. Yeah, sorry, I had a video processing. It took like fucking 7 hours, and it just when I'm recording my podcast, it sets off. Yeah, so like he decides, hey, he's gonna leave the martial art world for good, and and has his sword delivered to this guy Surte, who's like this well-respected figure in the martial arts world in China. So what ends up happening is while the governor is visiting Surte, his daughter, who's been secretly being trained by this criminal martial arts killer, Jade Fox, Jen Yu sees the Green Destiny sword and decides to take it so she can go on an adventure and leave the aristocrat world so she can be with her lover Dark Cloud, who was this bandit that she met in the desert, right? After that, everything goes into chaos. Lu Mu Bai decides to come back to the martial arts world to avenge his master, who was killed by Jade Fox. It's not entirely clear. There's like two sides of the same story on like how Master Lu Mu Bai's Wudan Master. That's the name of the Wudan is a place of the temple where they teach that Pacific martial arts, which is like this temple in this mountain place. Yeah, like I don't want to get into the story. Like you guys, we'll leave stuff out for you guys to discover when you watch this movie. Yeah, so obviously, what ends up happening is you have this basically Chinese Greek tragedy where characters die, and something really funny happened where like I watched this movie 4 times, right? And this is okay. Before I go into that, I'll give my synopsis. Basically, you have great acting with the characters, great choreography with the fights, a lot of beautiful imagery, right? Great music, right? And there's this one character who's like this cop character who's kind of a bumbling fool who joins in the fights and gets in the way. And I thought his comedic fighting was kind of funny, very reminiscent of like Jackie Chan. Yeah, so if I were to give this movie a rating, it's an 8 out of 10. It's a great movie. Everybody, if you're a fan of martial arts movies or wuxia films, because there's a lot of wire work, a lot of characters, especially Jen Lu's character loves to fly, which is like kind of bothered me that her character can fly, but like other characters can't. So it's like, okay, like, well, how many people can do this martial art like flying? Like, which is, I know it's basically jumping in the air and like they're like using their kicking off stuff to keep themselves in the air. I don't know. It's very weird. Um, we're gonna go to spoilers. Okay, it's an 8 out of 10. Great movie. Go watch it. So, despite the fact that I've seen this movie 4 times, you have the Lu Mubai dies at the end, and Jen Lu goes to Wudan Mountain to meet Dark Cloud, who Dark Cloud was told to wait there by Lu Mubai for Jen, right? So she goes there. She she spends the night with him. It's probably they have they have sex and shit. And the next morning she she asks Dark Cloud, hey, do you remember that story about the guy who jumped off the jump off the mountain and like flew off and like his wish was granted? And he's like, yeah, make a wish. I wish for both of us to return to the desert. She then jumps off the balcony and flies off. I guess as a dumbass, I did not realize. Oh my God, she's committing suicide over the guilt she feels for like causing this series of events that led to Lee Mubai's death and like her master Jade Fox, right? And I don't know why I didn't notice that. Hey, this chick is like killing herself. I guess I just thought, okay, I've seen this chick fly. Okay, surely she can somehow use her kung fu skills to gently float down to the mountain. Yeah. Right. So yeah, the movie ends, and then like the credits sequence, you get this like English song that very much reminded me of the songs from the record of Lotus War soundtrack, which is very fantasy-esque, and very beautiful sounding. It's like, wow, this is a very fitting song for this movie. Yeah, so it's like, holy fuck, how did I not like? Yeah, this movie, like, yeah, it's kind of. It's like the thing. I don't know how many people catch that, where like she commits suicide at the end. Probably everybody. I'm just a dumbass for not realizing that. Because you even see like Dark Cloud's face after she jumps, and he's like, he starts to cry in like slow motion. It's like, oh fuck. Oh shit. So yeah, yeah, the movie I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It's a great movie. I'm probably gonna review Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny, 2 days from now. All right, because like we're still doing our weekly mecha anime reviews, and I gotta catch up and make sure I finish it by Saturday. So all right, guys, that's it for today. I'll see you later. Peace.